Hi, I'm Jase. I would love to have active readers. I'm a really big fan of fandom, and I love when people kind of take a world and run with it, play with characters and play with worlds. It's really nice to have imaginative readers. Also love readers that talk to me. Having said that, I'd also really like to just reach like your local quiet teenager going to the library, browsing shelves, picking up a book that looks interesting, especially if they can then see themselves represented in the book. Because that was me once, you know, that was me being this like little teenager going to my library every week and picking out my 3 new titles for the week and just reading it and loving it and being transported to a different world. What is one far-reaching message you would like to convey as a brand and as an author? For me, I would want to see platonic love represented just as much as romantic love, especially in YA. Because I'm queer, romantic and asexual, and I remember being a teenager and reading young adult and so much of it was romance, and that's not a bad thing. I have nothing against romance. I actually like romance and I have written it in the past, would like to write it again, but it's so often kind of portrayed as like the ultimate relationship, and I don't think that's true. You know, friendship, platonic love, siblings, family, they can all be as important. And you find people in your life who become your family and they're not necessarily your blood relatives. And it's that kind of, that bond of having people in your life who are your people but not necessarily romantic, that's quite important to me. And also a lot of magic, because I really love fantasy, so anything with magic, hefty side of magic, yeah, that's me. Big changes start with small steps. You can be like a tiny little insignificant person in your society and you can still make big changes happen. Also stepping outside of your comfort zone and doing things you're scared of, because my main character Liam is basically terrified through the entire book. he's never comfortable, he's always pushed to do things that he's scared of, and he is terrified, but he's courageous and he faces it and he does it anyway. And I think that sort of bravery is really important to me, that sort of vulnerable bravery where you're not necessarily the loudest voice in the room, but you are somebody that is terrified but you do it anyway. Also, fight the system. That's quite a big one. Don't just take the word of it from people who are in positions of authority. Don't just assume that they're doing the right thing, you know, question it, fight it where necessary. I think that's particularly relevant right now in the situation that the world finds itself in. You know, point out the problems and say what you're not happy with and try and make changes, because otherwise no one's gonna ever change, are they? Even if you feel like your voice is little and you're one person, I think it's still important to speak. Thanks for watching, and I hope I've caught your interest.